Hey, what's going on, guys? Gamma Veyron here, and today I'm going to be doing a series called The Best Class Setups. So pretty much I'm going to go from competitive to maybe pubs, and we're just going to go look through some classes that could be really good for different positions. So starting today, we're going to talk about OBJ players, which is objective. So search and destroy, planting the bomb, domination, jumping on the flag, blitz, capping. So to start off, I have an empty class right here, and I don't want to, first off I want to say I don't want to be the one that just tells you use this class because this is better, because I see a lot of videos like that and it's not true. Like, a lot of people use different guns and they're good with it, so I'm going to tell you a broad variety and I'll give you the choice to use whatever you'd like, but I'll try to guide you through it. So to start off, for the primary gun, since you're playing objective, you're going to want to use something like a submachine gun. By the way, I have esports rules on, so this is going to work for competitive. And if you look at all the submachine guns, Bison is banned on some sites like UMG. I'm not sure about MLG, so I don't recommend using that. Then you're left with 5 other ones. Now out of these 5, I would limit it to the Vector, K7, and MTAR. Mainly because the Vepr, I mean, it shoots fast, but the damage isn't that high. And chances are you're going to need some medium range, too. Because objective players will get close to medium range, not often long. And also this gun has really bad accuracy compared to these. Also, same thing goes for the CBJ, because look at the accuracy, and I mean the damage is okay for these two. The rate of fire is awesome, but they're just not the ideal weapon you want. So now we're done with these 3. Now, out of these 3, I really don't mind which one you choose. I personally like the MTAR and the Vector, but I've seen a lot of people use the K7 and they do good with it. So this is where it comes to personal preference. So, I mean, the Vector and the MTAR is more for medium and close. The K7 is more if you're just straight up rushing. So out of those, think about it wisely, look at the stats, and usually I'd go with the MTAR, so I'll just choose that for the purpose of the video. And camo won't matter, and now we have the attachments. So for this, I'm for sure going to put foregrip because it's a submachine gun, and you want it to be at least medium. You don't want long that often, but you're going to want medium and close. So once again, something that'll increase the damage at long range will be the muzzle brake. So these two are pretty much complement each other. They're perfect. So I suggest using that. And now, secondary is a lot different than primary. Really, you don't have to use one. It's up to you. So if you do want to use one, I would recommend the P226. And if you're not, obviously nothing. So really, this is what I want to ask you. Do you often switch your secondary, or do you prefer to reload? Personally, for me, I would rather just reload, and I don't switch that often unless I'm really nervous and I need to, but I usually wouldn't use a secondary because then you'll get an extra perk. Right now, look how much. So another thing with the lethal and the tactical, I'm not going to do these until we're done with the perks, I'm not going to do tactical. The lethal, out of all of them, definitely I strongly recommend the frag because you can cook it, so you can go far or you can go short. With the Semtex, it's just same distance each time and same countdown. And like I was saying, for this trophy system usually doesn't go to the player that is playing objective, because let's say you're playing search and destroy and you're planting the bomb. It's hard. You can't plant it while you can't place it while planting, and usually you'll have some other people with you, so they can just plop it down while you're planting, and it works well. So really, I would recommend either smoke or concussion. So smoke, if you're gonna use incog, because you can plop it down, and then even if people have thermal, they can't see you. Concussion, just to slow people down, disorient them like it says. So really, once again, it's these two, it's preference. Try both of them out, see what you do better with. So for now, I'm just going to leave it with none, and we're going to do the perks. Since you're playing objective, you're definitely going to need ready up. It's not even a question, because you'll be running around a lot, and you want to be able to look up right away. Same thing goes for agility and marathon. Of course, you want to run a lot, so you need those. So you can't really argue those. Those are perfect. Takes up 5 though, so it takes up a lot. So now you can't have too much of the others. So what I'm going to ask you now is whether you would rather incog or quick draw. Quick draw is faster aiming, which is really good because let's say you're running, you have ready up right now, so you'll zoom in quick, or so your gun will go up quick, but will it zoom in quick? That's what quick draw does, and it takes 3. Incog also takes 3, and you won't get hit by you won't be able to be seen with thermal, which is really good. And it says at the bottom you can read what else. But now this links in with the tactical. So if you're not using smoke, I wouldn't recommend incog. However, if you are, incog is really good. because people with thermal will look out, they'll poke on it, they'll say, oh, no one's there, boom, bomb planted, you're perfect, you're set. So really, if we're gonna make, for the purpose of the video, like I said, we'll put it like this, but really it can go either way. So if you're not, I would recommend quick draw. And now you're just limited to one of the 1 perks. So personally, this isn't that much of a good use. I mean, it's good if you know you have it, but oftentimes I use run as, or I use, yeah, the run as a cancel. So if you have this, you can't cancel your reload. So I personally don't like it, but it does work for a lot of people, so check that out. Takedown you don't really need, because normally you're doing 2v2s, 3v3s, 4v4s even, so they're set up, they'll know where you are, they'll call you out anyway, so it's not really that important. For pubs it works a lot better. But something I would recommend is either take no fallen damage, because if you kill someone and you want to get out of there quick, sometimes the only way is to jump down. And the other ones aren't really that good. None of them really promise too much, so I'm just going to go with resilience for this. Now the strike package, you can't use assault, you can't use support, but you can use specialist. So obviously, which one are you going to use? Specialist. So going into it, I like to call these, the specialists, more of the luxury perks. You don't necessarily need them to win, but they help you a lot. So things like dead silence, which you can put here. Oftentimes I would take off something like marathon, which is really important, but then again also dead silences. So once again, this is also a choice. For this video I'm just going to go with marathon because we're running, but you can use dead silence, so keep that in mind. So now here I'm definitely going to put dead silence, focus, because these ones are important, but they're not as important as other, because you're rushing now, that's your main goal. Another thing, quick draw is pretty good. But for this, what I'm going to tell you to do is put one that's banned, and you'll see what I mean afterwards. Now we're just going to put, now it's all going to be at this, they all come at the same time, so it doesn't matter, just put whatever. What else is important we need? These could be important. And one more. Just, it doesn't need to be that important. The ones here, really, they're just luxury, whatever helps you out. So now we're going to take off that banned one, and now look, we get all the bonus ones at 8, which is a lot better. So you're going to get all the perks, I like to call them, at 8 kills, which is awesome. Now another thing you can switch up is focus here can be switched for, where is it? There we go, scavenger. Because oftentimes at 6 kills, you will start to need ammo. I mean, you could pick up other guns, because usually people use like the same guns, Vectors, MTARs, Remingtons, they all use the same thing, so you could just pick up someone else's. So once again, that's always really risky not to have it though, because in case you need ammo. So I'm gonna put that there, and then things, just mess around with your stuff. Think what you really need. You need dead silence in most of these, and we're getting it at 3 kills, which is good. Scavenger you pretty much need. On the go is not important, we just need something to fill it in. Now we look at it, tac resist isn't something for me, it's not really that important. Blast shield is, because if you're planting and they toss a nade, you're screwed. So I would generally take this off and put focus. But once again, it's really just your choice. So that's what I like about these kind of classes, is it's all up to you. I'm not going to tell you use these exact perks, use exact gun attachments, because that's just limiting you. It's not really giving you the option to choose what's good for you. So I'm just telling you the general idea. This is pretty much our final product of the class right here. So just look at it quick, you can mess around with it, try out some different stuff, and if it doesn't work for you, by all means just try something else, change it up until it works for you. And once you feel good with it, just stick with that. So next I'll probably be doing a Slayer video, which is not that hard to do. I'll show you guys that, it's pretty easy. But for now, just mess around with this, it should work. This is what I use oftentimes, and I mean it gets the general idea across, so it's pretty good. Thanks for watching, guys. See ya.